Hey friends, Karen Baskett DIYer here. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for stopping by for another fun Tumbler tutorial with me. If you're new here, I really hope you like what you see here today. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, drop me a comment, let me know what you're thinking. If you are a regular, thanks so much for coming back. Okay, so the tumbler that I have for you today is just a really cool marble swirl done with alcohol inks. You guys, this one was really fun to make. And you know, I've done a lot of tumblers with alcohol inks, but this probably is one of my favorites. And I know that I tell you guys, this is my favorite a lot, but I love this so much. And there are a bajillion color combinations that this can be done with. So just stay tuned, follow along, and I will walk you through the steps and show you how I created this little beauty. Okay, so to create this alcohol ink swirl glitter tumbler, I'm going to be using my favorite inks, which are the Let's Resin alcohol inks. I get these off of Amazon, and you will find that link in the description below. I'm also going to be using my spray bottle of 91% isopropyl alcohol, and you know, you'll definitely want to have something to catch your drips. I use cardboard a lot, just because it covers a nice big surface, and I always have cardboard from some kind of shipment that I've received. So I just have my cardboard laid out, and then some paper towels on top of that. Wow, I must have never used this color before. Okay, I have a lot of purples and pinks and peach red, different things like that laid out. And then I will also be using this Pinata silver ink from Amazon as well. So you want to just start by saturating your tumbler with alcohol. Just spritz it on there. And this is going to get messy. If you want to wear gloves for it, you can. But okay, so you just start by dripping alcohol ink on, okay? You might find that it's easier to do this on a turner, but all of my turners are currently in use. I have 6 tumblers spinning right now, so this is just going to be easier for me. You kind of want to just keep it moving. You can blow on these. That alcohol is potent, so be careful. You just blow on them. This one is peach red. That first color was just purple, straight up purple. I don't know that I've ever used peach red, so we'll see how it turns out. And if you find that your ink is not moving well, you just spritz it with your alcohol. See, I sat there long enough, it all dripped to one side, but that's okay. I'm just blowing on it. You just want to be really careful not to inhale too much of that isopropyl alcohol, because it's kind of harmful for your lungs. And they're starting to look like they're drying up a little, so I'm just going to give it a spritz. It's going to totally change the look of it, but it'll allow it to move and flow. And I know this is looking like a real hot mess, but I promise you, in the end, it is really, really cool. Okay, so now that I feel like I got all the colors on there that I wanted, I'm using the brush to just go at an angle and drag the paint along. It's starting to dry up on me just a little bit, which is actually beneficial because you know, it drags the inks a little bit better and helps the brush marks to kind of show up. And then I'm blowing on it a little bit to spread it out. You just kind of have to play around with it and just kind of get it where you're happy. Here in just a second, I'm going to spritz my brush with alcohol with alcohol, and that will help separate the inks a little bit and more of the white to show through to create more of the marbling effect. Spritzing my brush again and dripping a little bit of dark purple into it. I'm gonna try to drag that through it. May not help, I don't know. Adding alcohol to the brush definitely, once again, changes it. Very marbled. Love it. All the colors are really popping now. And you saw, I just did that by continually using my brush, dampening my brush with the alcohol. You just want to be careful not to splatter at this point because it will mess with your ink and leave little splatter marks. And you can be the judge of when you want to stop, okay? It's sometimes kind of hard to stop, honestly. Y'all, this is beautiful. I mean, when I started it, you saw I was going around and around and around, and then I went, oh my goodness, I had this whole idea in my head, but it totally worked out. It looks so super cool and marbly. I guess I should turn it this way. I love this so much. That was so easy to do. Took me a couple of minutes to get my colors mixed and melded together, but I just really love this. There's what the bottom looks like. Yeah, but you can just play around with a lot of different colors and just create a cool marble effect like this. My next step will be to let this off gas for 48 hours. Actually, I'm gonna let it dry for probably 2 hours and then put a clear coat, Rust-Oleum 2 times clear on it. Several coats of Rust-Oleum is what I will do to ensure that this is nice and sealed because I don't want those colors running or anything like that. So seal it, gas off gas, whatever you want to call it, and then be able to move on with my Brite 10 48 hours after all of that is dry. Okay, so you know what I just realized? I set this down to dry and started cleaning up and was getting ready to take a picture of my ink colors that I used, and I realized completely did not add my silver in there, but that's okay because I have another plan for silver on this tumbler. So just stay tuned and see what happens. So these are the actual colors that I ended up using on the tumbler. So all of those inks and clear coat gassed off for 48 hours, and now I'm applying my first layer of Brite tone. And while it's still wet, I'm gonna apply some glitter. I've got dragon fruit and opal ice. These are both chunky mixes by Maker Flow, and I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit in my hand and gently just sprinkle it across. I'm holding my hand up pretty high so that it spreads out quite a bit, but yet it has an opportunity to get flat and not be super thick. Okay, and now then I'm going to do the same thing with the opal ice. And I'm just going to do it right next to it. think the marbling on this just turned out so pretty. So I want to keep as much of that as possible showing. And that is all the glitter that this is getting. The rest is just about the marbling. And then I do have a cute water slide that I'm going to be putting on here as well. And here I'm just adding a layer of Brite tone over my layer of glitter. And this will definitely need to dry for 4 hours before I can move on to my next step and then add another layer. Okay, and so now it's time for my water slide. I've got this pretty water slide that I printed on the Hippo water slide paper. I really do like this. I printed it in reverse. And I've got my little tub of water off over here to the side. I don't know if you could see that or not. Hopefully you can. It doesn't take long for this paper to release. In fact, that water is warmer than usual and that released really quickly. So just putting a little bit of water on here. Like I said, I print it in reverse so that it just goes on so super simple. With ease. And then just squeegee the water out from there. I don't want to let this dry completely and make sure all my water's out before moving on to my Brite 10 layers. Don't ever want to have water trapped under there. It could just cause issues later on. Okay, so I'm about to start the Brite 10 layers on this tumbler, but I also want to include a little extra shimmer, so I'm using Diamond White mica powder. And I'm just gonna take a little scoop. It's way too much. Mix it, or put it in this medicine cup. It's actually not enough. I dumped most of it off before I got to my cup. And I mean, literally just a tiny bit of Brite tone with that. Just enough to mix it. And then I'm going to set that aside. All right, so just going to put my normal Brite tone layer on. Use this popsicle stick to get it started on here. And then I'm going to use my finger to rub it in just a second. This turn seems kind of slow. Okay. Down to the bottom, and just move it around a little. And that's it. That is all I'm doing to this tumbler. And then I'm just going to continue on my Brite 10 layers every 4 hours until I have my super smooth finish. I might have to do one level sand because of some of that chunky glitter, but I don't know. All right, you guys, and here it is. Look at those colors. Oh my goodness. I just can't get over how many variations of colors really did show up in this tumbler. I just think it's just a great marble effect. You know, very subtle amounts of shimmer with the mica powder and then the glitter. I just really do love how this one came together. All right, so you guys tell me what you think. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Just kidding, don't hate it. Yeah, so I hope you have been encouraged by this one and that you find a little bit of inspiration in this video and that you will take one of these on yourself. If you do make one, please reach out to me on social media, tag me in your photos, find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I hope you guys have as much fun making yours as I did mine. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, ring that bell for future Tumbler tutorial notifications, and thanks so much for watching.